When I think about Western civilization, the civilization that America is a part of, this civilization has two historical roots. The first is Athens, and the second is Jerusalem. Now, this is not a religious claim, it's a purely historical claim. Historians will acknowledge that our civilization has been watered by Plato and Aristotle and Socrates, but it has also been fertilized by Moses and Abraham and Jesus. Now, the full significance of this doesn't often dawn on us, because what it really means is that our core values, including the values that atheists cherish, are very often located in under these two pillars of Athens and Jerusalem. Our belief, for example, in universal compassion as a social value. There is no transaction of reason that dictates that we should care about somebody who's unrelated to us. However, here in the West, religious and non-religious people, we do. If there was a big famine in Haiti tomorrow, you'll notice that there would be a sort of yawning silence in most other cultures. The Chinese would ignore it, the Indians wouldn't care. The Muslim countries have plenty of oil money, but they would go about it as if nothing had happened. But here in the West, in America and Europe, the churches, Doctors Without Borders, the Salvation Army, the Red Cross, we're all animated. We all want to do something. We feel bad. But we're responding ultimately because we are the products of a specific history and a specific culture. This is not a matter of whether or not Thomas Jefferson went to church or whether or not Benjamin Franklin was an Orthodox Christian. It's a matter of recognizing that our core principles, even principles that we see as secular. Here's Thomas Jefferson. He was a man of the Enlightenment. He had a particularly, you may say, ambivalent relationship to the Bible, usually reading it accompanied by a pair of lengthy scissors, cutting out the miracles and so on. Sure. And yet when the founders basically said to Jefferson, you go into a room and sit down and tell us where these inalienable rights come from, Jefferson comes back and he doesn't say, well, they come from the social contract. No, they're inalienable because they come from our Creator. We are endowed by our Creator with inalienable rights. So even Jefferson, when he sits down to it and thinks about human dignity and all the rights that come out of that, he can't think of some automatic transaction of reason, some Euclidean proposition, some so-called bogus syllogism that generates dignity. There is none. Dignity comes out of the idea that there is a transcendent element in humanity, and either you accept that or you don't.